Welcome to my channel. I'm Heather, a 49-year-old woman on a journey to lose 40 pounds by my 50th birthday in December. I've already lost 10 pounds. You want to know how? Stick around. In this video, I'm sharing what I've been doing to shed the weight. I don't know how many of you can relate to this, but ever since I can remember, I've always had an obsession with my weight. And this obsession led to me having an unhealthy relationship with food. I'm a Caribbean girl. I grew up in Jamaica, and right now I'm living and working in the Cayman Islands. The Caribbean have a rich culture and a lot of rich sites. Beaches, mountains, greeneries. It also have a lot of rich foods. Now, the Jamaicans on here can attest to this. I remember when I was growing up as a child in Jamaica, a healthy snack for me was what we used to call pear. And I've now come to find out it's avocado and a bowl of cake. And salad was a single tomato, one of those big ones, yes, a single tomato we refer to as salad. And I remember my mom slicing that salad and putting it on the plate of one of my favorite meals, which was piled high rice and peas and stewed chicken. Now, I love eating, and by my 20s, I developed an unhealthy relationship with food. So my weight kept rising and rising, and when I thought that it was getting out of control, I resorted to some complicated and restrictive diets. I tried the famous cabbage soup diet. I eliminated carbs, I eliminated fats. And when I thought that none of those was working, I resorted to buy books with rigid and scripted diet plans. At one point too, I started taking some little green pills to restrict my craving. I don't know how many of you did this, but these little green pills were once popular on the market, and I don't know what was in them, but I know that when I stick them with needles, some green fluid usually oozed out. So I would lose 5 pounds here, gain 10 pounds there, lose 10 pounds here, and gain 20 pounds there. And I just became tired of it all. It was an utter mess. And by the time I got into my 40s, I was obese. My blood pressure kept fluctuating, sometimes rising to very worrisome numbers. My eye pressure was high. My body felt lethargic. I had pains in my joints. I kept having to buy clothing that was, the sizes were bigger than the year before, and things were just getting out of hand. On March 1, I found out my numbers. My weight was 230 pounds, my BMI 35, and my body fat was 48.3%. This time, I knew I had to change how I do things. I needed a lifestyle plan that was simple, attainable, achievable, and impactful. Now, the 3 actions that are now embedded in my lifestyle and are helping me to lose weight and become healthier are exercising, eating well, and intermittent fasting. I never ever did like the idea of putting too much strain or stress on my muscles or my body. So I started out by simply walking. I walk for at least 5 days each week, covering 3 miles or 6,000 steps per each walk. And by moving around and doing other activities, by the end of a day, I'm covering 10,000 or more steps. So you don't have to start out with no fancy gym memberships or no strenuous exercises. Start by simply walking. It have numerous health benefits, one of which is supporting weight loss. I'm almost 3 months into my journey, so I started doing some other exercises for build my muscles and increase my strength. At the end of April, my waist size was 43 inches. So for this month of May, I'm challenging myself to reduce that number. If you're a lady like me in your 40s, when you start getting comfortable with weights, start focusing on building your muscles. Because at this age, we want to build and protect with muscle mass. When it comes to me eating, I had to make some adjustments in my diet. Me including healthier choices, and me aiming for at least 2 balanced plates each day. So when me go shopping for prepare my own meals, or me I pick up something at the hot bar, the balance is always at the forefront of my mind. Albeit, me give myself at least one cheat meal a week, because sometimes me just feel like my body calling for junk. And if me don't satisfy that calling, me eating usually tends to get very wild. Like this weekend, me had a Popeyes meal, which was 2 pieces of fried chicken, fries, and a biscuit. So if you feel for something that will cause you to veer away from clean eating, give yourself a day or two if you can to test if you really want it. And if the craving remains, go ahead and satisfy it. Because if you don't, it's gonna be a problem. Now, if you're gonna do any one of the 3 actions that I've been talking about, that is eating well, exercising, and intermittent fasting, I am recommending that you start with the intermittent fasting. Because in my experience, I can tell you without the shadow of a doubt that it works. In January 2023, when I was at the highest weight of 235 pounds, and I decided to start one of my very many weight loss journeys, the thing I started with was the Daniel fast. The diet lasted for 3 weeks, and at the end of those 3 weeks, I was down by 10 pounds. Now, the Daniel fast is kind of strict. There's a lot of things that you can't eat when you're on it. But after that 3-week period ended, I started 16-8 intermittent fasting. That means I was fasting for 16 hours and eating within a window of 8. And my weight kept decreasing, although it wasn't as quickly as when I was on the Daniel fast. It was decreasing nonetheless. I hope something in this video will motivate you to start your journey. Please let me know if I've inspired you, or just let me know what you have already started. Next week, I have my end of month weigh-in and my waist measurement. Make sure to come back to see how I did. To my subscribers, thank you for coming back. To the newcomers, welcome and subscribe. And to everybody, like, comment, and share. See you next week.